It's Sunday, baby. Let's dive into some football. Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here, and we are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Sunday, October 2nd. Yes, the first official game of October, man. I'm super excited to dive into it. But before we I did just want to go ahead and say that we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. The NBA is going to be coming up. As you guys know, that's my favorite sport. That's my favorite league. The whole 9 yards. Love the NBA. I'm super excited for that. So if you guys do want to know what some of my picks are, make sure that you guys do follow me on that. I was very, very profitable for the NBA season. So hopefully we can go ahead and duplicate that once again so far this year. But without any further ado, I just want to go ahead and say just a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me. So now, starting as of this next upcoming week, there will be some fantasy basketball videos going to be pumped out as well. At least 2 a week. I'm going to try to do 3 a week, but we'll see. At least 2 a week, though. So I am super excited about that. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips, going to be giving you guys some tricks when it comes to who you guys should be picking up in your fantasy draft. So I am super excited about it. But before we go ahead and dive into the plays for today that I do really like, just a quick word here from our sponsor. This video is brought to you by PrizePicks. If you guys don't currently have a sports book that you do use, or if you do have one and you're just looking for something new, PrizePicks is a great way to get started. As you guys can see here on the screen, we are able to bet on pretty much every single sport that you can think of. We have MLB, we have the NFL, as of right now is the preseason, we have college football, we even have things like CSGO and some esports as well. And obviously, as you guys know, I'm a huge NBA guy, so once the NBA season does come around, you guys will be able to bet on player props from there as well. PrizePicks is very, very easy to use. I do love the no-run first innings, and that is something that you can go ahead and bet on here on PrizePicks as well. It's an absolutely fantastic app and website as well. So if you guys haven't already signed up for PrizePicks, make sure that you guys do that and use code KingSanders, and you can go ahead and get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. So the way that it does work is you go ahead and pick a couple here. So I'm just going to, for the sake of the video, say that the White Sox and the Orioles tomorrow are going to have a no-run first inning. The Toronto and Boston and the Cincinnati and Philadelphia are all going to have no-run first inning. Basically what I would do, I would go ahead and click less for all of these and do what is called a power play, which is basically the same as a parlay. All 3 legs do have to hit in order for the bet to actually cash out. On the flip side of things, you can also do a flex play. The flex play basically means if you do get one of the legs wrong, that's perfectly fine. You can still win some money. So PrizePicks is a great way to be able to win some money using player props and things of that nature to be able to win some money. So you can put together a bunch of different legs to win out some pretty big money. So once again, make sure you guys do use code KingSanders for whenever you do sign up. You will get a deposit match bonus of up to $100. And once again, thank you so much, PrizePicks, for sponsoring today's video. Yeah, so we are back now, and we have 4 plays that I do actually really like. I do have 2 spread picks. I have 1 over-under play that I like, and I also do have a player prop that I really like. So hopefully we can go ahead and go 4-0 on our plays. We have been really profitable. Unfortunately, for Thursday Night Football that we had, we weren't doing so hot. But the week before that, on Sunday, we did have a sweep. So hopefully, hopefully we can get back on that roll once again. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into these plays, though. No more reason to waste any time. Our first play of the day, we're taking the Raiders, -2.5 here versus the Broncos at -110 odds. I just like this play a lot because the Raiders are too good of a team to be 0-3. They really are. I mean, they're a very solid team. They just can't really pull out any wins. And I think that versus the Broncos is going to be a perfect time to be able to get their first one. The Broncos, the fact that they're underdogs tells me that there's just something that the books know. Because if you take a look at it, the Raiders, they did end up having a loss to the Chargers in Week 1 by only 5 points, so there was a very, very close game. In Week 2, they ended up losing to the Cardinals in a crazy overtime game versus them, where Kyler Murray just went absolutely ballistic in the last second half of the game. And then in Week 3, they ended up losing by 2 to the Titans. So they've been keeping these games very, very close. I think this is where they end up pulling one out here. And the Broncos, if you look at what they've really done, they lost to the Seahawks. They lost to them by 1. They only beat the Texans by a touchdown. and they beat the 49ers, but only by 1. So it's not like they're blowing these teams out of the water. And I think this is a game that is going to be mostly a field goal game. It's a low over-under. It is set to 45, so I think it's going to be a lot of field goals in this game. And I think that the Raiders can get one up on them. So I really do like this play. Hopefully it ends up working out for us. That's our first play of the day. Raiders -2.5 here versus the Broncos at -110. Now for our second play of the day, we're taking the Eagles and the Jaguars over 45.5 at -110. Normally this would be a situation where I say, oh, this is a low over-under. This is a low over-under for a reason. But I can't go under in this game. I know both defenses have been really solid, but if you look at it, these offenses have been great too. Jacksonville is 2-1 to the over, and the only game that they didn't was they ended up winning 24-0 versus the Colts. So it was literally the Colts' fault that they didn't hit the over. It was just the fact that the Colts couldn't score. So I think that obviously the Eagles, I don't think they're going to be shut out. Their offense has been way, way, way too good, and both these teams are averaging 28 points per game. So if both teams even get semi-close to this total, we're definitely going to be hitting the over. So I think it's a really good spot here. And according to Pro Football Focus, these two quarterbacks are elite. Jalen Hurts is the third best quarterback in football according to Pro Football Focus, and Trevor Lawrence is 11th when it comes to the overall Pro Football Focus grade. So they're ranking both these quarterbacks very, very high. Both these quarterbacks have done a lot of good things this year, and I really don't expect that to change. I think this is going to be a very high-scoring game, so hopefully it is for us. That's going to be our second play of the day. Eagles and the Jaguars over 45.5 at -110 odds. Now for our player prop of the day, we're going to be taking Keelan Cole of the Raiders under 22.5 receiving yards here versus the Denver Broncos at -115 odds. If you take a look at it, Cole has only had one game so far with the Raiders, and he only had one catch for 12 yards. He did have 4 targets, but I think that number is going to be limited here in the second week that he's with the Raiders. Now, if you take a look at it, Denver, they allow the third fewest passing yards per game, so they really don't allow a lot of passing yards. They're a very, very solid defense overall, and the spread is only 2.5. They don't really expect a whole lot of scoring. 45-point over-under, as I mentioned in our first play. Very low total, very low spread. I just don't think that there's going to be a lot of passing and scoring in this game. I feel like Josh Jacobs is going to be getting a lot of touches. I feel like it's going to be a very run-heavy game for sure. And personally, for me, I think Cole is probably the 4th or 5th option behind Devontae Adams, Mac Hollins, and Darren Waller. Obviously, Renfrow is going to be out, so unfortunately, that takes away one of those targets. But I do think that Cole is going to be a little bit too low down the totem pole to be getting a lot of touches. So I really do like this play. Hopefully, it ends up working out for us. That's our third play of the day. Keelan Cole under 22.5 receiving yards versus Denver at -115 odds. Now for our fourth and final play of the day, normally this would be a King's kill shot, but there wasn't anything that I really loved, so I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to be risking my perfect record on something like it. So this is my favorite play of the day. Lions -3 here versus the Seahawks at -110 odds. Now, if you look at it, Lions are good. I mean, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Lions are actually pretty good. They're 3-0 against the spread. Seahawks, they are just 1-2 against the spread, getting that Week 1 win versus the Broncos. But other than that, they really haven't done a whole lot. Seahawks, they ended up getting smoked by San Francisco. I think they lost by like 20-something. And they ended up losing by 4 to Atlanta last week. And I just don't really think it's a great spot here. Lions, they've been really close in every single game other than the Washington game that they played. They ended up winning by 9 points versus Washington. But the other 2 games that they played, they lost by 4 to Minnesota, and they had a shootout versus Philadelphia, and they ended up winning by 3. So I think this is a really good spot here to take the Lions. I think that they are going to be able to get things done here, and I just think they're a really solid, gritty team. So I really do like this play a lot. That's going to be our fourth and final play of the day. My favorite play of the day, Lions -3 here versus the Seahawks at -110 odds. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently on the road to 7,000 subscribers, so make sure that if you guys are new, make sure that you guys are subbed. But that's going to do it for me. This is King Center signing out. Peace.